All the games happened on Wednesday night. The first game is the Cavaliers beating the Chicago Bulls 121, 115. The Bulls, they got to win games to be the 10th seed. It's pretty tight. The race is pretty tight down there. After this game, Wizards is the 10th seed officially, and the Bulls are one game behind. But I believe they do have the tiebreaker. The Wizards, they are 8-2 in their last 10. They won 6 straight. We'll talk about them later. But the Bulls, they need to win games to be in the play-in tournament. Vucevic struggled pretty massively. 5 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, just 9 points in 25 minutes. This game wasn't close, so a lot of the starters didn't play heavy minutes. Kobe White did. Kobe White had a pretty good fantasy game. Good efficiency everywhere. 2 threes, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, even 2 blocks. The guy lately has been getting the decent amount of defensive stats compared to early season. I think he's a pickup with Zach LaVine out. Who knows? Once Zach LaVine comes back, he might just be coming off the bench. Daniel Theis keeps starting, take Thaddeus Young's minutes, but which makes none of them a must roster guys. Thaddeus Young was, but 17 minutes again, he put up a pretty good line in just 17 minutes. I don't know how this guy does it. He might be the best per minute guy in the NBA. In 60 minutes, he gave us this: 14 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. I think he's a drop because in other games in 17, 18 minutes he hasn't done much. So I don't think he's a must roster. If they have a back to back, for sure, you could stream Thaddeus Young. Satoransky is a drop, pretty much. Other than Vucevic, Vucevic is a must roster guy, but at the moment I think Kobe White is worth rostering, and Thaddeus Young is worth streaming. But everybody else, guys like Lauri Markkanen, just for him to get 20 minutes, he's not going to do much. 16 points, 4 threes, that's pretty good, but everything else will be negative. Just not enough minutes for all these guys. For those guys, they need to play 30 minutes to be effective. For the Cavaliers, Isaiah Okoro continues not doing much. Kevin Love continues to play. I think he's a guy that we could have him on the roster if you really need his threes and rebound. Else, stream the spot for somebody else for the playoffs. Right. As a big guy, he gets no defensive stats, no steals or blocks, but everything else is pretty good for Kevin Love. Even give you a little bit of assist as a big guy. Jared Allen, 9 rebound and block, not the best game considered the Cavaliers won by a lot. It's mainly the 2 guards that play really, really well. The big guy on the team, he hasn't fallen off for quite a bit, Jared Allen, in the last month. He wasn't blocking a lot of shots in the last month as well. So hopefully he can bounce back. He's also like a hold, in my opinion. But like I said, in the playoffs, you got to be more cutthroat. For Jared Allen, again, the many holes in his fantasy games. For example, he gets no assists, no threes, bad free throw. But most likely, because you got 13 guys on a roster, not everybody's got the category that you need to win this week. So you just gotta drop the worst guy, and pick up better players, especially the categories that you need. Okay, Colin Sexton, great. Great efficiency everywhere. What else to say? Colin Sexton has been great in the last month. I believe Darius Garland also. Yeah, Sexton has been the 30. Last month 37th ranked player, averaging 26 points and 1.2 steals. That's something we haven't talked about a lot. Is that he has increased his steal numbers by like 0.4. He was averaging like 0.7, 0.8 last season, 0.8, 0.9. Going from 0.8, 0.9 to 1.2 is great. 0.3 blocks is also as a guard. Can't expect too much. But in the last month, 0.3, shooting 51% from the field, 85. It's mainly the efficiency. Also give us a little bit of rebound and assist. So pretty good month for Colin Sexton. Same thing with Darius Garland. His ranking might be a bit because of the efficiency, but in the last month, 64th ranked player, averaging 19.6 points, 2.6 threes, 1.4 steals. Again, this is the guy in his rookie year. He wasn't getting a lot of steals. This season, he has been getting pretty consistent over 1.1, 1.2 steals, which is good enough. and then 6.6 assists. Also really increases assists. Wish he could go to the free throw line a little bit more. He's a really good free throw shooter, only averaging 2.3 attempts. So that would also help his rankings if he goes to the free throw line a little bit more. Larry Nance Jr. I don't believe he's a must roster guy. This is always the worry that how many minutes is Larry Nance gonna get with Kevin Love around. Weirdly, Kevin Love is healthy and playing, so Love won't be getting the 30 to 35 minutes, and the value is really not there. Let's go to the next game. The Indiana Pacers beating Oklahoma City. OKC again. Prokashevsky left the game in 5 minutes. Illness. We don't know. He might be. It's not too serious, so he should be back next game. You know who needs to be picked up? Okay, if you don't need the efficiency, because Darius Bazley, if you got Russell Westbrook on your team, he's great. He give you the counting stats. Lately, he's been scoring a bunch, averaging close to 20 points. His ranking is still going to be bad. Let's look at his rankings. Yeah, he's not even ranked inside of 188 in the last month. But points wise, rebound wise, he's been giving us really good in those two categories. Really good production. But we know the efficiency is still rough. But the fact that he took 25 shots is encouraging. So depending on what you need, it is obviously if you try to win efficiency, he's hurting you pretty huge in that regard. But could worth considering rostering. Moses Brown only played 16 minutes. Tony Bradley got 15. And then guys like Isaiah Roby coming off the bench played 28. So Moses Brown at this point is not a must roster guy. We know that. I think 17 minutes only, but still got a double-double against the Pacers team. Well, Pacers didn't have a real center this game because both Miles Turner, we'll talk about Pacers a little bit later. But yeah, I don't think he's a must roster guy. Moses Brown. Siv played 36 minutes, had a really good game. 2 blocks, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. I just don't think he's going to have 35 plus minutes. They got a lot of guys, and I don't know what the rotation is going to be like. Theo Maledon been getting consistent 30 minutes, and consistently he's pretty consistent out putting up good stats from this guy. 7 assists. It could be assist and steals guy, but everything else is rough. And even for assists and steals, they're not very consistent. So I don't think he's worth rostering, but for sure you could stream him if you need those two categories specifically to win this week. Isaiah Roby played 28 minutes, didn't really do much, had 6 personal fouls. He's a guy that can grab rebound, give you some defensive stats. Again, like many rookies, the efficiency is rough, so that if that's what you want, you could stream him. Kendrick Williams is known for, I think he started at the point guard last game, didn't he? He got 27 minutes. I also like him permanent-wise on this team. Bad from the free throw line, but everything else looks great. Again, another guy that you could stream, especially with Prokashevsky out if he ends up missing more time. All those guys are worth streaming, but if we talk about per game basis, per game production, if you need production now, they're not exactly, top 80, 90 guys, even when given the opportunity. But if you need counting stats, ignore the efficiencies, because none of them is good efficiency guy, and nobody is. But if you need a counting stat, Darius Bazley for sure can give you that at the moment, especially the points and rebound. For the Pacers, they got the win. I don't know how they started this center called O'Shea Brissett. I think they just signed him off the street, play 42 minutes because they really need a center. They really need some bodies. I guess it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how you're just gonna put up big stats as a Pacers center. What is his line? 12 point. Yeah, I think he might be worth grabbing, depending on if Gogo, he could potentially help you win the league. What is his stat? 12 rebound, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Maybe a high. Well, he also took 16 shots. A high energy guy. They really need some bodies. This game, Sabonis is also out. But if they end up missing more time, you gotta grab him. I don't know when the next Pacer game is. At least stream him for one day. Maybe he can just win you. Having this stat line twice in a week probably is a difference to help you win the playoff matchup. The free throw is rough, we know that, but he needs to be looked at if everybody is out again. Caris LeVert and Malcolm Brogdon, I don't know how much time Sabonis is gonna miss, but in the meantime, if Sabonis ends up missing more time, let's look at Yeah, Sabonis is questionable. But this game, Karis LeVert looks really good. 44% from the field, but he took 25 shots. That I'm gonna give him a pass here because he scored 28 points, a good free throw efficiency. But most importantly, 4 steals and a block. I think it might be a system thing. You know, the Pacers, he was averaging like 1.1, 1.2. I know he's an okay steals guy, but ever since he played on the Pacers, he's been averaging crazy, like 1.5 steals in the last month. Sorry, 1.8. This is by far his best category. In the last month, the efficiency is still rough, 44%, but 80% from the free throw line is okay. 20 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. I was more expecting he put up like 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, that kind of production. In the last month, for sure, matching it, and 1.8 steals. That's what I did not expect. 1.8, that can almost lead the league in steals. So a lot of Pacer guys can get plenty of steals, but not for Malcolm Brogdon. He had 1 steal, so that's great. For him, everything else looks great. I mean, 29 points, 15 rebounds even. Because Sabonis is out, who's gonna grab those rebounds? 7 assists, a steal. A pretty good game from Malcolm Brogdon. Justin Holiday also with everybody out, he could be a streamer for sure. Get you the steals, even 2 blocks this game, 2 3. TJ McConnell is still a hold in 25 minutes. Without the guards healthy, I don't expect TJ to play 30-35 minutes. But who knows? Malcolm Brogdon is going to be in and out of the lineup. But even in 25 minutes, look at the stat, and he's shooting, I believe, 70% from the field. He doesn't take that many shots, so it's not that big of a. But having a point guard shoot 70% on 6 attempts per game is huge. If you're trying to win field goal, 8 assists and a steal. If you're pounding points and threes, this guy, he even made 2 threes. Wow. Just scary stuff on TJ. Yeah, he's still a hold. The next game, the Phoenix Suns beating the Sixers. It's a a lot of games. Great win for them. For the Suns, they are the boss. The Sixers, they don't really lose games at home. Another loss at home. Mikal Bridges went off, 18 points, 2 threes, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. That's why we like this guy. Jay Crowder exit the game. With him out, Cameron Johnson, maybe you could stream him instead of Jay Crowder, but none of them has that good of value, so it doesn't really impact that much. Against Joel Embiid, DeAndre Ayton obviously gonna be in foul trouble, but still played 30 minutes, 2 steals and 2 blocks, still good enough to me. He has been really picking up in the last month or so, top 30 guy in the last month. Devin Booker, 19 points, 7 assists and a steal. Okay game from Devin Booker, did not hit a 3, but the 7 assists is good, and 1 steal, we take it. Chris Paul carried them. Big games, Chris Paul came to play. Took 17 shots, the most on the team, 28 points, 8 assists, and a block, 5 threes. Really, really good. Chris Paul, I mean, how many games did he play this season? How many games did he miss? I mean, if we look at the games missed in top, 30 guys, other than Jokic, he might be the healthiest guy in the top 30. Anybody else that I missed? I don't know if this, because all the top guys that I could think of, top 10, top 20, everybody missed a few games. Chris Paul is so healthy this season. It's crazy. If we know he's healthy, like he would get drafted in the top 30 for sure, top 25. Cameron Johnson played 30 minutes but hit 3 threes, nothing else. For the Sixers, Matisse Thybulle, with Ben Simmons out, every time Ben Simmons is out, you can stream this guy, Matisse Thybulle. He got 35 minutes. The shots didn't for him, but 2 steals, 3 blocks, 3 rebounds, 3 assists is okay. Like, you don't really stream him for his points. You stream him for his defensive stats. So if Ben Simmons ends up being out, I think for sure you gotta stream him. He could go off again, giving you 4 steals and 2 blocks, and those defensive stats are hard to find a guy that's this consistent. Joel Embiid, Joel Embiid went off again. 38 points, 17 rebounds, good efficiency everywhere, a steal and a block. What else can you say about this guy? If he didn't get hurt, he should be leading the MVP vote, because they got one of the best record in the NBA. The other guy is Giannis, but Giannis hasn't been putting up this level of production, and they're not as good, like, ranking wise. And the Nets, they obviously got everybody. Harden, got hurt again, so he's going to be out of the conversation, I believe. Danny Green, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and only a block, 4 threes. I think you need defensive set threes. Danny Green is the best guy out there for sure. You don't drop in. Shake Milton 24 minutes with Ben Simmons out. Didn't really do much. Tyrese Maxey got into the action. This game Seth Curry is also out. So if those guys continue to be out, you could stream both of them. If they have, especially if they have a back to back. Especially if you need some points, those guys give you that. Oh, George Hill even played. Oh, I didn't know he was on the Sixers. He played 23 minutes. But yeah, not the guy that we want. The next game, Raptors somehow beat the Brooklyn Nets, a tanking team. Oh, I guess Raptors played everybody. They were resting everybody. They played everybody this game. Kyrie tried to carry the team, and he carried a fantasy team this week, but not the actual Nets team. 28 points, 11 rebounds, look really good. 8 assists with Harden out. His assists, he's going to average 8-9 assists, I think. 3 in the block, good efficiency everywhere. Great game. And Bruce Brown, he's a guy that I would like to stream. Especially 14 rebounds. What is that? 1 block, 21 points. He's probably the best fantasy guy. I mean, obviously after the big three, when given the minutes on this team. So I will take a look, stream him the next game. If you stream him for the first 2 weeks this week, you're probably winning rebound. He's grabbed 12 rebound and 14 rebound respectively the last 2 games. Really, really good. Landry Shamet, he had a huge game. This game, 3 for 17. Probably the reason why they lost. If he hit, a couple more threes, the game would be a lot closer. Blake Griffin started at the center, only played 19. We're not interested in Blake Griffin. DeAndre Jordan also, he somehow got 20 minutes. Pretty good stat line, but we know those guys are going to play around 20 minutes every game, and that's just not enough. Jeff Green and Joe Harris. Joe Harris can be a 3-point streamer, and Jeff Green, he's efficient. We know that, but not so much this game. And we don't know when KD is out, and like I said, he's questionable next game, so I would wait. It's tough. I mean, if he comes back playing, sure, but if he end up missing more games, obviously, it's not like a Harden where he's out for a couple weeks, so it's an easy drop. For KD, it'll be tough to drop for sure. I think he's gonna come back and play next game, but depend on the Nets schedule, right? It's if they have back to backs, KD's gonna miss more games, and who knows how many minutes he's gonna play. For the Raptors, OG came, all the guys came back, played great. OG 2 blocks, 25 points, crazy efficiency, looks good. Pascal Siakam 27 points. Yeah, all these guys, they're well rested, so they better put up a good fantasy line. And they all did, I think. Cam Birch started, had 8 points and 7 rebounds. Cam Birch is not a must roster guy, I think. But, we're in the playoffs. And we really look at what this guy is offering. He give you some rebound. He give you some defensive stats on this team. Nothing else. So if you need those, you could stream. But Raptors they only have 1 more game this week. I believe they have a 5-game week next week. That's when Cam Birch, 5 games of Cam Birch, probably better than KD. Two games from KD, right? Let's say Nets have 3 games, and they got a back-to-back. So that's something to think about. Kyle Lowry, no defensive stats, 7 rebounds, 5 assists is okay, 3 threes. Kyle Lowry has not been good in the last month. Obviously, for a veteran, this is what I worry. And he still played 35 minutes. But what else can you do? They got 5 games, and I expect him to miss, I don't know. 5 games, they have 2 back-to-back, so I think he's going to miss 2 games. So really he has 3 games. Same thing with Fred VanVleet. He's a young guy, but I don't expect him to play 5 games even, and he's still dealing with an injury. Just really bad production this game again. 1 steal, 5 assists, and nothing else. Also, this game, Chris Boucher got hurt. What is up with Gary Trent Jr.? Why is his minute so low? I don't know. They gave this guy Freddie 24 minutes. Give Gary Trent Jr. I guess. But none of them is a must roster guy. Chris Boucher is a drop for sure. He hurt his ankle. He's gonna be out for a week. You can't afford to, and he doesn't have a alt tag yet, so you can't afford him to sit on your roster, miss 3 games, and you lose out of the playoffs. Who knows when he's gonna be back? So I would say Chris Boucher is a job. I would keep an eye on Gary Trent Jr. and Malachi Flame because they got 5 games next week. So all those guys, you could potentially stream them if they all play 5 games. The next game is the Golden State Warriors losing to the Wizards. Wizards on the road. They won 6 straight. Interestingly, against the worst defensive team in the league, Steph Curry struggled. Did not score over 30 points. Can't keep the streak going. But can't complain about this guy. The production he's giving you. And he was a minus 21. So one of his worst games in the season, interestingly, against a really bad Wizards team. Cat Oubre Jr. played 36 minutes. Played okay, but is he a must roster? I don't know. Next game he might play 25 minutes and bad efficiency, give you nothing else. This game was really good. 2 blocks, 9 rebounds. Cam Bazemore, you gotta... This is why we stream him. This is why we stream Cam Bazemore for defensive stats. Because he can pop up like this. 6 steals and 2 blocks. But probably his best game of the season. I can say that confidently, and the season is not over yet. 6 steals, I don't think he's going to do it again. But every once in a while, he'll get you 3-4 steals. Especially against the Wizards, you got Russell Westbrook on the other side. 19 points here, really, really good. So that's why I would like to stream Ken Bazemore. Because he's been getting consistent 25 plus minutes, and he can do enough damage in those minutes, especially the defensive stat. Draymond Green, another great, okay game. 8 assists, 3 steals, 4 rebound. If you're counting points, as I said many times, he's great. Kevon Looney is another guy that if you want some rebound, very low end rebound value, to be honest. If they do have a back-to-back, I don't even know if Kevon Looney plays in back-to-backs, but he's been getting consistent 25 plus minutes, and then, he's like the only center on this team, so, he's a good fantasy guy, I think. Andrew Wiggins, 14 points, 3 steals, very consistent. Well, he also played horrible. It was a +6, but 5 for 20 from the field, 3 steals. Okay. Andrew Wiggins is another guy that if you try to win free throws, is a guy you can consider. Even just don't play him or cutting him together for some good free throw guys, because he could potentially hurt your free throw, especially your free throw is tight. Everything else is determined. If you still like Wiggins, you just don't play him on Friday or Sunday. Don't play him. If everything else is already determined. But that's usually toward the end of the week. For the Wizards, Bradley Beal started at the small forward. They keep playing Ron Neto. They start him at the shooting guard and then put Bradley Beal on the small forward. They play a small lineup. That's been working, I suppose. Russell Westbrook. This is as Russell Westbrook as it gets. 5 for 17 from the field, 3 for 4 from the free throw line is actually good. I can't complain. But 9 turnovers. That's why Ken Bazemore got those 6 steals. You gotta thank Russell Westbrook. But 20 rebounds, come on, man. 10 assists, we know that. 3 steals, 14 points. 20 rebound, man. Russell Westbrook is gonna average a triple-double this season. He's going for it. And the Wizards are winning games. They might be in the play, but we know they're probably not gonna make any noise in the playoffs. Who knows? If they're playing this well. Bradley Beal, 29 points, 10 rebounds. Grab 10 rebounds again as well. Well, they don't get any big dude on the team that can grab rebound. Daniel Gafford actually played really well. Daniel Gafford is a guy that we could consider streaming if you run the field goal. He give you 3 categories, very clear. He'll give you those 3 categories in a huge volume. If you need to win 2 of these, for sure he's a streaming option. Davis Bertans played 30 minutes. Rui Hachimura is out. We can consider picking him up if you need some threes. He can help you win threes because he can average 4 or 5 threes a game. In 30 minutes. He did that. He hit 4 threes, 5 for 5, 19 points. Obviously, if he hit 4 threes, he's going to give you some points as well. Ron Neto, he's a good steals guy. If we just got a back-to-back, for sure you could stream him. And Danny Advia got hurt. Looked pretty bad. I think he got carried on stretchers. What's going to happen with him? He's going to be out for a long time. But who's going to benefit? Maybe Ron Neto, that he's going to even get more minutes. Maybe Davis Bertans going to get more minutes. So those are 2 guys that I would consider streaming for the playoff matchup, for sure. Let's go on to the next game. The Atlanta Hawks, wow. The New York Knicks, they scored 137 points on the Hawks. We know Hawks are not known for their defense, but The Knicks, this is the battle between the 4th seed and the 5th seed. They won 8 straight, the New York Knicks, hottest team in the league. Maybe the second hottest team is the Wizards. For the Atlanta Hawks, really bad news. Trae Young got hurt. He sprained his ankle. He's going to be out for a week. He's not going to get an out tag immediately. If you try to win, I think he's a drop. What's going to happen is he's going to miss 2 games. If he gets an out tag, you got an IR, sure, you could put him in there. But if he doesn't have an out tag, what's going to happen is he's going to miss the next 2 games. He's going to take a roster spot, and then he's going to get an out tag. Right? He might be out for a week or 2, maybe when the playoff is over. And really, the category he gave you is the points and threes and free throws, those 3 categories. But he's also hurting you in many other categories. Look at your situation, see if it makes sense to drop in. See like your final matchup without Trae Young. Do you have any possibility? Because at the moment, right, in your league, I think the teams that are out of the playoffs, they won't be streaming. So there will be a lot of talent on the waiver wire, and especially with all the teams tanking, there are a lot of guys who have value. So who knows? Malachi Flynn might just give you more value playing 5 games next week than Trae Young playing 4 games or 3 games even. So yeah, something to think about. Trae Young, I mean, if you're not punting anything per game basis, he's a 50 guy. So yeah, it obviously sucks. He was having he had 4 steals before he left. That doesn't happen. 14 assists, 7 for 7 from the free throw line, 20 points, really, really good before he got hurt. So what that means is Kevin Huerter and Bogdanovic, I think he got to pick both of them up. Bogdanovic is going to have a monster finish. He's a monster roster guy anyways. Now he's going to have more ball handling and more assists, more points even. This game also, he played 42 minutes. Again, okay game. Okay from the efficiency, bad from the field. But hit 4 threes, 3 steals, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 20 points. He's been so good, top 50 guy in the last month. And with Trae Young, who knows, could be top 30, 40. Clint Capella also played high minutes. John Collins only played 27. Clint Capella also has been a beast, 22 rebounds, 2 steals and a block, 25. So what else can you say about this guy? Especially if he punting free throws and threes. Man, this guy has been good. Also, he doesn't really give you the assists. But all the other categories, such huge value. Kevin Huerter, you need to be picked up. As well, I think he's a guy that there's not one category that he really give you huge volume, but he give you a little bit rebound, a little bit assist, some steals, good steals actually, a little bit blocks as a guard. He's a pretty lengthy, and some threes and some points. But nice production across the board. Efficiency is rough sometimes. John Collins is really coming back from the ankle injury. The minutes is low, and just 18 points and good efficiency, nothing else. You still hold on to him, obviously, because he doesn't hurt you that in any of the categories. So you can, just hold on to him. For the Knicks, Julius Randle had 40 points again. Man, Julius Randle, the guy that played the most minutes. He's another guy that. I was just talking about Chris Paul. I think he missed 1 game all season. And he's averaging the most minutes in the entire NBA probably. Had 40 points, great. 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. 12 for 13 from the free throw line. What else can you say about this guy? This guy has been, for sure, surprised so many people this season. So good. In fantasy as well. Nerlens Noel, 9 points, 12. Yeah, he's a must roster guy. We know that. Giving us a lot of blocks and steals, and was able to play 34 minutes with 4 fouls. Good production from him. RJ, the minutes is super high, but very mediocre, especially in points league. He's okay, but in category leagues, he's always ranked outside of 200. So he's not a must roster guy. Even playing 40 minutes, especially in the playoffs. If you need points and rebound, maybe Darius Bazley has also been doing that, but with probably worse efficiency. But both guys are not must roster guys. But if you need some counting stats, sure, they can be picked up. Elfrid Payton, not so much. Had 3 steals that looked pretty good. Derrick Rose actually played 30 minutes. If he play 30 minutes consistently, he can be rostered, can give you good points, assists, and good efficiency. He give you that, but we know D-Rose is. This game, I think they just decided not to play Alec Burks. Alec Burks was out. So if Alec Burks continues to be out, that's extra 20 minutes. You add 12, 13 minutes to both Emmanuel Quickly and Derrick Rose, and both guys play 30 minutes. It could streamline. Emmanuel Quickly really went off. Had 20 points, it was a plus 29. Basically, this game, the bench unit helped them win, helped beating the Atlanta Hawks, but I don't think I want to stream. I want to stream them. If Alec Burks is healthy, if Alec Burks is out next game, sure, could stream them for a game or two. The next game wasn't really close. The Jazz beating and Donovan Mitchell wasn't. He's gonna be out for a couple weeks. And again, if you don't have an IR, he's a drop. If you have an IR, keep him in there. You can't afford to hold a guy. And I said, especially when you go deeper into the playoffs, the teams that are out of the playoffs, they won't be streaming most likely. They shouldn't be unless they're trying to fuck with you. And there just be a lot more waiver guys out there. And if you just active with your streaming, you can get more games out of your roster spots. You can find enough value, I believe. And also a lot of teams are dealing with injuries. So guys in and out of the lineup, you can stream guys for 1 or 2 games and drop them for somebody else. Bogdanovic with Donovan Mitchell out, I think he's a roster. You got to roster him. Obviously, this game wasn't really close. Who had a good game on the Jazz? I guess Joe Ingles, insane efficiency for. I think I said it many times. Joe Ingles, Bogdanovic, and Jordan Clarkson. You got to roster all of them. With Donovan Mitchell out, you have to roster them. Joe Ingles played the best, but he was only a plus 15, while Mike Conley was a plus 46. My God. Rockets just bad. Had 13 assists and 2 steals. Look okay. It looked really good. Rudy Gobert, easy work, 18 rebounds and 2 blocks. Jordan Clarkson, 22 points. All those guys, they play pretty well, and they need to be rostered for sure. For the Rockets, Jason Tate, wow, another 4 steals game. Sure, we get him for his defensive stats. 4 steals look really good, but the fact that he took 19 shots is why they lost. I don't know how he took 19 shots. He took 93 attempts. He's letting it fly, and maybe D'Antoni's, DNA offense still within this team. He went 0 for 9 from the 3-point land. I don't think he's known for his 3-point shooting, but he still took 9 threes. 4 steals. You really want him for his defense. He give you that, so can't complain. Kelly Olynyk struggled. He's still a hold, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. It's just a bad game against the Jazz team. Hit 2 threes. Christian Wood also. Against Rudy Gobert, everybody struggled, but the main thing with it is his free throw. Maybe when we draft Christian Wood next season, we gotta think about pounding free throws because he's been really, really bad this season, shooting 65% on high volume. That really makes him not a top 20 guy. Like if he shoots 75%, he could be a top 20 guy. But shooting like this, he's more like top 40, top 50. It's just hard to rank that high in fantasy when you're shooting the ball that badly from the free throw line, especially. You gotta pound free throws. But everything else this game is also pretty bad. John Wall is still playing. And the Kevin Porter Jr., if you don't have IR, he's also a drop. For sure, don't look back. Please, guys. 21 points for John Wall. He's not a muscle guy as well. He's going to miss a lot of games. If he's playing, you can stream him for a game or two. If he's out, drop him. Yeah, don't hesitate. With all the guys out, Kenyon Martin Jr. got his opportunity. I think he's a guy that could potentially stream next game because Kevin Porter Jr. is going to be out. So I want to stream him. Give him 30 minutes. He can stream him for his rebound blocks, mainly for those two. And who knows? He can give you a little bit of everything else. But he's a really good defensive guy. Let's go to the next team, the Detroit. Detroit is another team that has a lot of value, I think. Mason Plumlee somehow played 32 minutes and Isaiah Stewart played 15. Sure, if Mason Plumlee plays the next game, you want to stream him. I don't understand. He played 32 minutes, had 6 personal fouls. A huge game, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 13 points, good efficiency everywhere before he left, but he was a minus 17. Isaiah Stewart was balling. I would say it's still a hold. It's possible. I would hold him for one more game. Depend on the schedule, Detroit schedule. If they have a game On Friday, I would for sure hold him. If they don't have another game in 3 4 days, I could consider dropping him because next game he could only play 20 minutes. I can't afford to, have them play one game for the next 4 days and give us 20 minutes only. A lot of guys you can stream like Corey Joseph, Josh Jackson. Depending on who's in and out of the lineup. Josh Jackson, pretty good game, 12 points. All these guys giving you some low end values, and the minutes is up and down. That's why, especially if Detroit have 3 games in 4 nights, all these guys they have more value than say a guy play 1 game or 2 games. For sure, like a Kyle Lowry play 2 games. Probably Corey Joseph have more value play 3 games, or Sadiq Bey, depending on what categories you need also. But if you need threes, for sure, Sadiq Bey is way more consistent, hitting those threes. Corey Joseph also 24 points, looks really good out there. Played 36 minutes, but the minutes is really we don't know. It's roulette at this point. Corey Joseph 1 game plays 15, one game play 36. But like I said, if they got a lot of games, you could stream even a guy like Diallo. Is it he? Do you want to stream him? I don't know. He's been pretty consistent under 20 minutes and played pretty horrible this game. But guys like Corey Joseph, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, all those guys need to be streamed. Isaiah Stewart, if they got a lot of games, they could potentially pop off and help you win the playoff matchup. Isaiah Stewart, if you got him on your team, Monday he had 18 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. You can't complain too much. If they have a game on Friday, I would check. I would hold on him too. Sadiq Bey, very consistent hitting these threes. They obviously, he obviously didn't play well. I think he's also a hold. Jeremy Grant, 26 points. He has fallen off of a cliff. Bad free throw again, but he's still a hold. But just we need to reset our expectations for Jeremy Grant next season. He's not a top 30 guy, I think. As we've seen, he's shooting the ball really well in a month for 2 months, and then he's falling off. For the Mavericks, Porzingis came back, had 3 steals, 19 points. Okay, game for him. You don't want to drop him when he's healthy, right? Luka Doncic, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals. Again, back from the free throw line. What else are you gonna do with this guy? Josh Richardson, 12 points, a steal. Mavericks, they also got a lot of guys. If they have a back-to-back, a lot of guys you can stream, like a Josh Richardson, like a Dorian Finney-Smith, like Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr. I think we know what categories they're good at. Tim Hardaway Jr. very clear, 3 points. So you could potentially stream some of the Mavericks guys. Look at their schedule, see if it makes sense for you to stream. Let's go to the next game. Okay, we got 4 more games. Miami Heat beat the Spurs. Jimmy Butler came back. He's just been so good whenever he played this season. 7 rebounds, 11 assists, only 1 steal. Good efficiency from the free throw line. 18 points. Yeah, Jimmy Butler's great. Be great. Trevor Ariza, very inconsistent. But I think if Jimmy Butler ever misses games, I think Jimmy Butler is going to miss a lot of back. Not every single back-to-back, but he seems to have. They seem to rest him a little bit, even resting Ben a little bit as well. But if everybody's out, Trevor is a guy you could potentially stream just holding to hit the lottery. Because he could potentially go off for 20 points and 3 steals and 2 blocks. That type of game. Bam, 23 points, great, 3 steals and a block. Again, good efficiency everywhere. Kendrick Nunn played huge minutes with Oladipo. If you still got I'm pretty sure everybody without a roster spot dropped Oladipo already. And I wouldn't even want to, if he comes back healthy, I would only stream him and I would drop him instantly if he misses games. Duncan Robinson, a 3-point streamer. Kendrick Nunn, low end value. I don't, if they have a back-to-back, I would stream him in the playoffs. Because maybe he give you some points and threes, that's it. If I need those 2 categories, I would stream him. Tyler Hero also hit 5 threes. That's look pretty good, but in most games he doesn't really. He give you some points and nothing else. If you have to be honest. And for the Spurs, they got destroyed. DeRozan, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Just a bad game across the board. Jacob Poeltl. This is why we like Jacob Poeltl. 9 rebounds, a steal and 5 blocks. Man, he's looking good. He's the must roster guy. We know that. And Spurs should have a lot of games. Should have a good playoff schedule because they missed some games due to COVID. Derek White continues to shoot poorly, but 5 rebounds, 7 assists is okay. I think you hold on to him. And Devontae Murray disappointing, no defensive stats, only 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Just across the board, other than Pirtle, all the Spurs guys played really, really bad. They only scored 87 points. So, the next game, the news is the Grizzlies, they got JJJ back. Wow. Okay, JJJ, you could stream him. Is it going to be, I think, miss a lot of back-to-backs. I don't hate picking him up. He had 4 blocks in 18 minutes. He is, like, to be honest, him and Porzingis, maybe he grabbed like 2, 3, 4 rebound, but him and Porzingis very similar. They're fantasy games, right? Maybe he doesn't score 20 points, but he could score 18, 19, no problem. So a little bit, Porzingis is a top 25 guy. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. should be a top 35 guy, top 30 guy, when healthy, because he also blocked a lot of shots and he hit more threes than Porzingis. This game, especially if you're trying to win blocks, you're not gonna find another guy that can block this many shots. We had high hopes for Jaren Jackson Jr. I think when we drafted him, for all the guys who drafted him, but this is end of April, he came back. He was supposed to come back mid of January. He's 4 months late. Sorry, 3 months late. But yeah, if I would stream him if I want some points and blocks. But if he doesn't play, there's no point, because I think he's gonna be on a minute restriction for a long time, and he only give you blocks and threes. I think, playing 20 minutes. Xavier Tillman played 28. Valanciunas is still out. You could stream him until Valanciunas comes back. But once he does, it's a drop. Kyle Anderson, I will still hold on to him for a few more games. See what happens. In 24 minutes, he still give us 1 steal and 3 blocks. So I would hold, see what production he give us. Dylan Brooks is the one. He committed 6 fouls. I thought his minutes reduced because of JJJ, but no. He just committed 6 fouls. If he punting field goal, I think he's a hold. Ja Morant, okay, just give us some low-end values. DeAnthony Melton went off, and this is why we don't get fooled by DeAnthony Melton. This game he plays 15 minutes. He played 15 minutes. So you can usually drop him. I wouldn't even stream him because it's so up and down. Right? But the big news this game is obviously JJJ coming back. And the Clippers, they're rolling. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both out. Next season, if you want to draft, Kawhi, we understand. At the beginning of the season, we got all excited that he's going to play back-to-backs. Next season, I think, especially when they get to the end of the season, they're going to rest Kawhi Leonard. So that's going to be a pain. Same thing, they're going to rest Paul George. So just be careful when you draft them. Marcus Morris Sr. with both guys out, I think it's a no-brainer stream. You need to stream him anyways with Kawhi Leonard out. He give you good points, good threes, and good rebound. And he give you a steal and block this game. Zubac is a master roster guy with everybody out. I think 7 rebound, 18 points, 2 blocks looks pretty good. Luke Kennard also went off this game, but I think with Paul George out, I'm not too excited. I think with Terrence Mann, both guys, they're not really good fantasy guys. Nicholas Batum is a guy that if you want some defensive stats and some threes, he can give you that. But lately, he hasn't been giving us that, so I wouldn't stream him either. Let's quickly go to next team. Denver got another close one. 106, 105. Michael Porter Jr., this guy's efficiency is insane. 17 points, not a lot of rebound, no defensive stats, so that's disappointing. But the efficiency is still there. Aaron Gordon is not a master roster guy. His minutes is really up and down. But okay game, had 2 steals this game here. Jokic, 25. Did not put up a huge line, but Jokic standard, but good efficiency everywhere. 1-3, 9 rebound, and 5 assists and a block. Can't complain. And Will Barton, also, I think he needs to be rostered, especially if you don't care about the efficiencies. 14 points. And also a pretty high turnover guy. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Had 2 threes. Okay. And Campazzo is a guy that you could stream for assists and steals. Although not a lot of assists this game. Even blocked the shot. 12 points. Denver team, nobody really played that well, but they got the win. That's all that matters. For the Portland Trailblazers, Norman Powell. This is why. This is more of Norman Powell we know. Scoring 15, 16 points. Not so good efficiency. 8 for 8 from the free throw line, but he's still a hold. He's been giving us a lot of defensive stats. Had 2 here, and Robert Covington. What's going on? His defensive stats has disappeared in the last two, three games. I don't know. Maybe with Nurkic on the court, it impacts Robert Covington a little bit. In terms of getting the defensive stats, he's still obviously a hold. 8 rebound. It's just something I noticed. With Nurkic around, Robert Covington is not getting. This is the same thing with beginning of the season, playing alongside Nurkic. Robert Covington was playing really bad, especially not getting the defensive stats. So that's definitely impacting him a little bit. Nurkic, what's up with the minutes? 29 minutes? That's good. 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. If he's playing, for sure, I would love to roster him. 20 minutes, giving us okay production. CJ, he does have the upside because he can pop off, can block 3 shots, 3 blocks. It's just a matter of can he do it. CJ McCollum, 5 assists, 2 steals, 14 points. Okay game, and Damian Lillard hasn't been himself. We know that. Hasn't been shooting the ball all that well, and just being really bad in the last month. You can't do anything because it's Dame. You can't drop him, and he's healthy and playing. Just hope he can turn it around. I don't know. He's hurt. It seems like Cantor, you can drop him. If Nurkic is out, you can stream him for rebound and some other stuff. But with him healthy, it's the last game of the night is the Timberwolves losing to the Sacramento Kings. Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels, I think he's we're at the end of the season. We're not picking somebody hoping by the end they can give us good value. Him not giving us value at the moment, so it's a drop. Even playing 32 minutes. If they don't have a back-to-back, for sure, I would rather have somebody that's giving me value right now. Carl Anthony Towns, 26 points, 5 rebounds. Did not have the best game in Cat standard, but still look pretty good. And the assists with Cat is being a trend. He's been averaging 5 assists, so looked really, really good. Anthony Edwards had 16 points, pretty empty line, from him. And D'Angelo Russell, he needs to be picked up and streamed at least. But just set your expectations. Next game he could play, give you 15 points and 3 assists and nothing else. But this game looked really good. 9 assists, 2 steals and block. I would not depend on what you need in the playoffs because we know D'Lo, he doesn't give you rebound, blocks, bad efficiency from the free throw line, even as a guard, bad efficiency from the field, bad turnover. That's why his ranking is not high in category leagues. If you need some assists and threes, sure. And a little bit steals and points. Obviously, Ricky Rubio, if you need assists, he's still a hold. And for the Kings, Harrison Barnes, another great game. 7 assists, it looks good. 22 points, 6 rebounds, and I think it's a hold. Harkless, if you need some defensive stats, you could stream him. He had 2 steals, but he doesn't give you anything else. Hassan Whiteside, oh man, he played 13 minutes, had 4 personal fouls. If you need some big man stats, you could for sure still stream him. He only played 30 minutes because he's in foul trouble. Otherwise, I would expect him to play at least 20 to 25. 25 minutes, Whiteside. He can really pop off and win you the matchup. Buddy Hield had one of his best games. 29 points, 7 threes. Really, really good. And De'Aaron Fox, 13 for 14 from the free throw line. Another monster game from De'Aaron Fox. That's what, it's meaning with him is the efficiency. And I said stream D'Lo, right? For assists and steals, but he got 14 minutes this game. So he's a drop, and Tyrese Halliburton is a hold. He played 30 minutes again, 6 assists and a steal. So in the playoffs, we just have to be a bit more. We can't really have patience like we were in the beginning of the season, right? Even though this guy next week he could potentially play 30 minutes, but if at the moment they're not playing high enough minutes, it's just an instant drop, I believe. That's it for all the games. I'll see you guys later.